today class, we will now be discussing your proteins.
Okay, so for
Okay,
your
so for your
proteins,
proteins,
they are the
they are
most
the most
versatile
versatile
molecule in
molecule
our
in
body.
our body.
Okay,
Okay,
there are
there are
about
about
10,000,
10,000,
50,000
50,000
different
different
proteins
proteins
exist in
exist
our
in our
bodies.
bodies.
These
These
proteins are
proteins
made
are
up of
made up of
your
your
building blocks
building blocks
also.
also.
And what are
And
those
what are those
building
building
blocks?
blocks?
As you can see
You
in the
can see in the
diagram below,
diagram below,
you
you
have the
have
amino acids. Okay, like
like
lysine, phenylalanine,
phenylalanine,
okay,
okay,
arginine,
arginine,
alanine,
alanine,
tryptophan,
tryptophan,
proline.
proline.
Okay,
Okay,
those are
those are
your
your
amino
amino
acids.
acids.
Then you
Then
have
you
their
have
deep
their deep
structures,
structure,
which you
which you
can
can
see
see
as
as
primary,
primary,
secondary,
secondary,
tertiary, and
tertiary, and
quaternary.
quaternary.
Okay, later on
Later
we will
on we will
discuss it.
discuss. Okay.
So what
So
are
what
amino
are amino
acids?
acids?
So your
So
amino
your amino
acids are
acids
large
are large
molecule.
molecules.
They are
They are
known to be
known to
your
be your
macromolecule.
macromolecule.
As for your
For your
macromolecule, this is
macromolecule, this is
essential
essential
or
or
needed
needed
by
by
your
your
body.
body.
Essential.
Essential.
And
And
as
as
macromolecule, this
macromolecule,
is
this is
needed
needed
in
in
large
large
quantity.
quantity.
Okay? Next is
Next is
fundamental
fundamental
building
building
blocks of
blocks
all
of all
proteins.
proteins.
Like I
As
said
I said
earlier,
earlier,
your
your
protein is the
protein is the
building
building,
sorry, your
sorry,
amino
your amino
acids are the
acids are the
building
building
blocks of
blocks of
your
your
protein.
protein.
Building
Building
blocks of
blocks of
your
your
protein.
protein.
Okay?
Okay?
The
The
electric
electric
charge of
charge
your
of your
proteins
protein
depends on the
depends on the
pH
pH
of the
of the
solution and
solution
the
and the
type
type
of
of
the
the
group
group
attached to it.
attached to it.
Okay?
Okay?
It
It
depends on the
depends on the
pH
pH
and
and
the
the
group
group
attached to it.
attached to it.
Okay?
Okay?
So
So
this
this
is
is
a
a
sample of
sample of
your
your
protein.
protein.
So you
So
have
you
the
have the
amino group
amino group
here.
here.
This is
This
your
is your
carboxyl group,
carboxyl group,
and this is
and
the
this is
R
the
group
R group
attached to it.
attached to
So
it.
if
So
your R
your
group
R group
will
will
provide
provide
you
you
what
what
electric
electric
charge
charge
as said
said
your
your
protein will
protein
be.
will be.
It's
It's
positive or
positive or
negative.
negative.
Okay?
Okay?
Your
Your
protein
protein
is
is
also known
also known
as
as
your
your
one.
one.
Okay? You
Okay?
have
You
the
have the
nitrogen here.
nitrogen here.
You have the
You have the
nitrogen here.
nitrogen here.
Okay?
Okay?
For
For
carbon,
carbon,
when
when
it
you
says
write this
carbon,
carbon,
use your
your
carbon.
carbon,
Your
your
hydrogen is
hydrogen is
present
present
here,
here,
also
also
here, and
here,
also
and also
here.
here.
And your
And your
oxygen is
oxygen is
present in
present
your
in your
carbons.
carboxyl group.
Okay, that's
Okay? That's
why
why
the main
the main
component of
component of
your
your
protein is
protein is
this.
this. No?
Carbon,
Carbon,
hydrogen,
hydrogen,
oxygen,
oxygen,
and
and
nitrogen,
nitrogen,
while
while
your
your
carbohydrates
carbohydrate
is
is
chocolate.
chocolate.
You remember
You
that
remember
on the
that on the
previous
previous
discussion.
discussion.
Okay,
Okay,
as for
as
your
for your
structures of
structures
amino
of
acid,
amino acid,
now you
now you
have
have
this
this
as reference
reference
guide.
guide.
You
You
have
have
this
these
primary
primary
amino
amino
acids
acids
that can
that
build
can
up
build
your
up your
proteins.
protein.
As you can
You
see
can
there,
see there,
they're
now they're
always
always
present
present
CHON,
CHON.
okay, in
And
the
in the
formula
formula
given.
given.
CHON
CHON
for your
For
for
your
your
glycine,
glycine,
CH2H5
CH2H5,
NO2.
NO2.
Okay,
Okay,
labing
labing
9,
9,
nitrogen
nitrogen
compound.
compound.
Alanine,
Alanine,
serine,
serine,
tyrosine,
tyrosine,
threonine,
threonine,
cysteine.
cysteine. Okay?
So good to
So
know
good to
lang
know
the
lang the
structure of them.
structure.
Next,
Next,
what are the
what are the
characteristics of your
characteristics of your
protein?
protein?
So
So they are,
they can
they
be
can be
basic
basic
solution.
solution.
No?
No?
They
They are
unable,
able to,
they
they
have
have
charge of
charge of
negative.
negative.
So they
So they
dissociate
dissociate
protons
protons
from the
from the
carboxyl group
carboxyl group
present
present
forming
forming
your
your
COO.
COO.
Okay. Then they can
Then
be
they can be
also
also
acid
acid
solution,
solution,
excess
excess
protons,
protons,
which
which
can
can
attach to
attach to
your
your
NH2 group
NH2
or
group or
your
your
nitrite group
nitrite group
to
to
form your
form your
nitrate.
nitrate.
Okay.
Okay?
This Discharges affects how each protein moves in an electric field, allows us to separate a protein. That's why we can use um, electric currents to differentiate proteins present in your solution. Okay? Intermediate pH value, both positive and negative charges may exist on the same molecule. They are called now your sweeter ion. Not sweeter ion. They have different charges, positive and negative. No? The net charge may be zero or neutral. The pH value, isoelectric point, sum of molecule charges is equals to zero. All of them are zero. So they are called sweeter ion. Walang pH, walang isoelectric point, walang charge. All sweeter ion. Protein structure determine the shape of a given protein molecule and affect the function of that protein. So for this one, the shape, as mentioned, it would go to your primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. Okay? They are combined with your peptide bond or amide bond linkage. Now they are linked together. Uh, the amino acids to form your protein. They are also formed when the carboxyl group of each amino acid joins the amino group of the second, forming a molecule of water as a byproduct. When you say byproduct, no? This is removed from the chain. A byproduct, parang ano lang to, nag 1 plus 1 ka, ang sagot mo 3. Okay? Bakit sa nakuha yung isa? Byproduct. Okay, sobrang excess. As for that, you have your primary structure. This primary structure is composed only of your amino acid sequence. No? As you can see here, amino acid, combined amino acid. Puro link lang na amino acid. Simple. Okay. So secondary structure, you do have two structures or two shapes in here. You have the alpha helix and you have the beta plated sheet. For your alpha helix, yung primary structure mo will now have linkage with this. You have now linkage with this. Magkakaroon sila ng link, forming your helix. Okay? The same goes to your beta plated sheet. No? Your beta plated sheet is flat. Flat plated sheet. No? Then your alpha helix is foil sheet. Okay, they are bounded by your other bonds. Okay, like your hydrogen bond, okay, covalent bonds to form your secondary structure of your protein. Next is your tertiary. Let's go first with your tertiary. This is a three-dimensional structure. Okay, combined. You can see here your secondary or alpha helix and another secondary you have the beta sheet. This one, see here, these are primary structures. Okay? So sa tertiary, nagsama-sama ang primary at secondary. Yung magkasama sila doon. While your secondary is magkakasama ang primary. Okay, magkakadikit. Yun lang yun. Then, your quaternary is formation of a complex of protein molecule. So, here, no, nagagawa na siya ng ibang shape aside from beta-plated sheet and alpha helix. No? Hindi nakita yan mamaya. Okay, what is
Okay, what
example
is
of
example of
this?
this?
You have
You have
your
your
hemoglobin.
hemoglobin.
Okay?
Okay?
You have
You have
four
four
globin
globin molecules.
molecules, no, as
No?
per
As
your
per your
protein,
protein,
then
then
meron
meron
silang heme
silang heme
na attached
na
to them.
attached to
That's
them.
why they
That's
are
why they
called
are called
hemoglobin.
hemoglobin.
So your
So your
primary, no,
primary,
as I
no,
said,
as I said,
they're only
they're only
sequence, no,
sequence na
magkakadikit
magkakadikit
lang
lang
na
na
amino
amino
acid.
acids.
They don't
They
have
don't have
definite
definite
shape.
shape.
They are
They
only
are
in
only in
chains.
chains.
No, they are
No?
in
They are
chain.
in chain.
Okay?
Okay?
They
They
determine the
determine
overall
the
shape of
overall
the
shape of the
protein
protein
on how
on
it
how it
bends, fold,
bends,
and
folds, and
twists.
twists.
No, either
No, either
flat or
flat or
coil, no,
foil, no?
because they are
Because
only
they are only
in
in
chains. No?
chains. No?
They don't
They
have
don't have
any
any
linkages
linkages
aside from
aside
that
from that
peptide bond
peptide bond.
you have. Okay?
Okay?
Next is
Next is
your
your
secondary
secondary
structure.
structure.
Okay?
Right?
This is
This is
coiled,
coiled,
folded.
folded,
No? Ano
no?
yung
Ano
coiled
yung
natin?
coiled natin?
Alpha
Alpha helix.
helix. Okay, ano yung
Okay, ano
folded
yung
natin?
folded natin?
You have the
You have the
beta
beta
sheet,
sheet,
okay,
okay,
of protein
of
chain.
protein
So
chain. So
aside from your
aside from your
peptide
peptide
linkage,
linkage,
it
it
has
has
other
other
linkage
linkage
present, like your
present, like your
hydrogen
hydrogen
bonds,
bonds,
covalent bonds,
covalent
or
bonds,
other
or other
bonds that
bonds
are present
that are
in the
present in the
structure.
structure.
Okay.
Okay.
No? Yan,
No?
sabi
Yan,
natin,
sabi
coil
natin,
flat.
coil flat.
They can also
They
be
can
in
also be
random
in
or no
random or
apparent
no
pattern.
apparent pattern.
So as you can see
As you
here,
can see here,
this alpha
this alpha
helix,
helix,
this one, this
one,
alpha
this alpha
helix,
helix,
no,
no,
has a
has a
hydrogen bond
hydrogen bond
between the
between the
amino acid
amino acid
sequence.
sequence.
That's why it
That's why it
forms a
forms a
helix.
helix.
Okay.
Okay.
Same goes
Same
with
goes with
your
your
beta plated
beta
sheet.
plated
This
sheet.
is
This is
a
a
one
one
amino
amino
acid.
acid.
One amino
One amino
acid. They
acid.
are
They are
bonded
bonded
together with
together
your
with your
hydrogen bond.
hydrogen bond.
Okay,
Okay,
forming the
forming a
sheet
sheet
pattern.
pattern.
Okay. You have
You have
tertiary
tertiary
structure, which is a
structure, which is a
three-dimensional
three-dimensional
structure.
structure.
It can be
Can be
globular,
globular,
regular,
regular,
any
any
formation.
formation.
Kasi
Kasi
they
they
have
have
either beta
either
plated
beta plated
sheet,
sheet,
alpha
alpha
helix,
helix,
combination
combination
of
of
any of
any
those,
of
your
those
primary and
primary
secondary
and secondary
structure.
structure.
Okay?
Okay?
That's why they
That's why
have
they have
indefinite shape.
indefinite shape.
Then your
Then your
quaternary,
quaternary,
okay?
okay?
When two
When
or
two
more
or more
polypeptide chains
polypeptide chains
associated closely
associated
together
closely
to make
together
up
to make
your
up your
multi-chain
multi-chain
complex. This is
complex.
chain. This is chain. Multi-chain
Multi-chain
complex.
complex.
No?
No?
How is it
How is it
done?
done?
You
You
have, no?
have
You
no,
can
you can
have
have
multiple
multiple
tertiary
tertiary
molecular
molecular
structure
structure
that are
that are
bonded
bonded
together again
together again
to form
to
your
form your
quaternary.
quaternary.
Okay, as
Okay, as
for
for
example, here
example,
again,
here again,
you have
you
the
have the
hemoglobin.
hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin, no?
Hemoglobin. No?
You have
You have
four
four
teams here,
teams
your
here,
2
your two
alpha and 2
alpha and two
beta,
beta,
joined by
joined by
your
your
heme group.
heme group.
Okay?
Okay?
That's why it
That's
is
why it is
called
called
your
your
hemoglobin.
hemoglobin.
So yung
So yung
combination of
combination of heme and
hemoglobin.
globin.
Next, you
Next,
have the
you have the
classes of
classes of
protein
protein
according to
according to
function.
function.
Okay? And what are
And what are
these?
these?
Enzymes,
Enzymes.
no? They
They
are
are
biochemical
biochemical
catalysts.
catalysts.
As we can say,
Okay?
what are
What are
catalysts? No?
catalysts?
They
No? They
speed
speed
up the
up the
rate of
rate of
your
your
reaction.
reaction.
Rate
Rate
of
of
reaction.
reaction.
And how
And
it
how
does
it does
speed the rate
speed
of
the rate of
reaction?
reaction.
Speeds up
Speeds
the
up the
process.
process.
Okay, by
Okay? By
degree
degree
being
being
um, in combination with
combination
the
with the
reaction,
reaction,
they
they
form
form
a
a
significant
significant
bond
bond
with
with
the
the
analytes
analytes
within that,
within that,
then they
then the
speeds up
speeds
the
up the
reaction
reaction
within
within
those
those
products.
products.
Okay, what are
Okay,
the
what are the
example of
example of
this?
this?
You have
You have
bromelain,
bromelain,
papain,
papain,
rutosine,
rutosine,
chymotrypsin,
chymotrypsin,
trypsin,
trypsin,
pancreatin, no?
pancreatin, no?
is from creatine. You can find this on your pancreas. They are produced by your pancreas. Also, no, as to this three, the proteases, amylases, and lipase. They can be found in your pancreas. Okay. Another, you have the structural proteins. And what are these structural proteins? They provide structural support for your body, a tissue, or a cell. They are they build up your body. They are usually long, fibrous molecule. For example, is your collagen. Okay? Your collagen is primarily found in the bone. Okay? It is a component of your bone, but also in other structures like your skin. Okay? Keratin is protein mainly found in your hair and nails. They are the primary component of your hair and nails. Okay? So they are structural proteins. According to function, you do have the contractile protein. It involves contraction and relaxation of muscles. They are usually long and fibrous materials. Okay? Other classes of protein, according to function, you have the antibodies. Okay, they are also protein, these antibodies that we have. Okay, they neutralize foreign materials that enters your body. Okay, ano yung mga example natin for this? Your immunoglobulins. Globulins. Okay, or your IGs. IgG, IgA, IgG, IgA, IgN, IgE, and IgE. Okay, IgE. Next is your transport protein. So your transport protein, transfer the functions for transfer. For transferring what? No? Other substances, such as your, the example of this, albumin. For example, your albumin is the major or the most common protein transporter within the body. Okay? And another is your peptide hormones. So we do have, not all hormones are derived from your cholesterol. Some of them are from your hormone proteins. Okay? The regulating metabolism. So we do have these specific plasma proteins. Okay? Major component, these are proteins components that are readily detected on electrophoretic gels stained by conventional clinical laboratory technique. So first of those is your pre-albumin. It is a fraction that migrates in a position faster than albumin. Kaya nga pre-albumin, nauuna lagi siya kay albumin in moving from the electrodes, no, towards your ano. It has a tetrameric structure, and each monomer can bind a molecule of thyroxine. There is also called thyroxine binding pre-albumin or TBPA or transthyretin. Your pre-albumin also binds with the retinal binding protein, which complex with vitamin A to transport it to the body. So your vitamin A is absorbed in your intestine, then it is transported by your pre-albumin to be absorbed and used in other sites of your body, like your eyes. It has a short half-life. To say half-life, this is the life of the drug inside your body or life of any analyte inside your body. So pag sinabi mo, no, ang sabi dito, you do have about 2 days for your albumin. So about 2 days, the amount you administer it will be known half. For example, you give 50 milligrams of pre-albumin. Okay? After 2 days or about 2 days, it will be reduced into 25. That's your half-life. Okay? Compared with other major proteins, so it has short half-life. Its rate sensitivity to intake of inhibitor lesion and to alteration of hepatic function for it is reduced. So primarily, your free albumin is produced from your by your liver. Okay? This is good indicator for nutritional status of the body. It crosses more easily into the CSF than other serum protein. Next is your albumin, major protein. It is the most abundant protein in the plasma. That's why it is the most common transfer protein. It serves as a mobile repository of amino acid for incorporation into the other protein. It also be used as your cofactors. It is generally transport protein or carrier, as I said earlier. Its half-life is about 17 days. Haba. An elevation of serum albumin concentration occur in your dehydration, prolonged application of tourniquet for the neck puncture. That's why we do the neck puncture for less than 1 minute. Okay? Bakit mataas si albumin kay dehydration? Okay, your albumin, no, participates in your oncotic pressure. So your oncotic pressure now um, regulates the body water. Okay, also helps in the regulation of the body water. That's why if water is lesser in the body, you will also have, no, you will now have increased albumin, or your albumin is excreted in your water. Okay? Measurement of albumin concentration are important in interpreting calcium and magnesium level because these ions are bound to albumin. Okay? They are bound to albumin. That's why if ever that you have hyperalbuminemia, it can be correlated that you can also have hypercalcemia and hyperhemagnesemia. And if you have um, low albumin, you will now also have low calcium and magnesium level because they are bound into your albumin. Dye binding method for albumin measures, no, they can be measured by your bromocresol and hydroxyl oxybenzene benzoic acid, or your HABA. Hydroxyoxybenzene benzoic acid. The presence of albumin in the urine is considered abnormal even in small amount. Why? Your albumin is a protein. Now, presence in the urine will correlate dysfunction or abnormality in the kidney. For your protein is a big molecule. Kaya natin sabi sa unahan, macromolecule siya. And your fenestration in the kidney is smaller than your albumin or your protein. Okay? It should not be filtered out by your kidney. It should remain within the body. That's why presence in small amounts, they have significant in your urine. Number three, no? Alpha 1 antitrypsin. No, it is a major component of the alpha 1 globins. It has a capacity to combine with trypsin and inactivate it. That's why it is called antitrypsin. It is one of the serum glycoprotein that thrives in response to acute inflammation. Okay, so sometimes we are using this one, alpha 1 antitrypsin. in indicating
indicating
inflammation, or
inflammation,
we
or
test
we
this
test this
for
for
inflammation,
inflammation,
resistance.
resistance.
Number
Number
four, your
4, your
alpha 2
alpha 2
macroglobulin.
macroglobulin.
It is the
It is the
largest
largest
major
major
non-immunoglobulin
non-immunoglobulin
protein in the
protein in the
plasma.
plasma.
Large
Large
major
major
non-immunoglobulin.
non-immunoglobulin.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Kasi yung
Kasi yung
largest
largest
immunoglobulin mo
immunoglobulin mo
is
is
IgM.
IgM,
Malaki.
malaki.
Okay?
Okay?
So
So
macro, ay
macro,
mga
ay
macro,
ang macro,
malaki.
malaki.
They are
They
found
are
in your
found in your
plasma.
plasma.
Women have
Women have
higher
higher
levels than
levels
men
than men
because of the
because of the
hormone
hormone
estrogen. So
estrogen.
your
So your
alpha-2
alpha-2
macroglobulin
macroglobulin
is
is
correlated with
correlated with
your
your
levels
levels
of
of
estrogen.
estrogen.
When
When
other
other
molecules,
molecules of
molecular weight
molecular weight
protein are
protein are
lost,
lost,
its
its
concentration
concentration
rises
rises
about
about
10 folds or
tenfold
more
or
than
more
the
than the
protein
protein
in or more
or
in
more
your
than the
protein cell.
protein.
So,
So
more
more
than 10
than
folds of
tenfold of
your
your
macroglobulin
macroglobulin
normal
normal
level,
level,
it can
it can
indicate
indicate
necrosis.
necrosis.
Beta 2
Beta 2
microglobulin.
microglobulin.
This is a
This
light
is
chain
a light
component
chain
of your
component of
major
your major
histocompatibility
histocompatibility
complex,
complex,
or your
or your
HLA, no,
HLA,
na pag-aralan
na
natin sa
pag-aralan
inyo
natin sa
zero,
inyo.
your
Pero,
HLA,
actually,
inflammatory diseases such
inflammatory
as your
diseases such
RA
as
or
your RA
rheumatoid
or
arthritis,
rheumatoid arthritis,
and
and
SLE, your
SLE,
systemic
your
lupus
systemic
erythematosus,
erythematosus,
can
can
have
have
increased amounts of
increased
your
amounts
beta
of
2
your beta
microglobulin.
microglobulin.
Why?
Why?
Because
Because
they have,
they have
you know, antibody
antibody
problem.
problem.
This rheumatoid and
Rheumatoid and
SLE
SLE
is known
is
to
known
be
to be
antigen,
antigen,
antibody,
antibody,
or
or
autoantibodies. They are known to
autoantibodies. They
be
are known to be
have
have
deficiency in your deficiency
deficiency,
deficits in your
deficits in your
antibodies, which they
antibodies, which
attack
they
your
attack
own
their own
cells.
cells.
That's why they are called
By they are called
autoantibodies.
autoantibodies.
They attack
They
your own
attack their own
cells,
cells,
destroying
destroying
the
the
um,
um,
cells
cells
itself.
itself.
Okay, for
Okay, for
example, you do
example,
have
you
a
do have
kidney
a
cell
kidney
here.
cell here.
Okay, your
Your
kidneys.
kidneys.
Okay, if you
Okay,
have
if you have
SLE,
SLE,
your
your
antibodies will
antibodies will
recognize
recognize
your
your
kidney
kidney
as
as
foreign.
foreign.
So your
So your
antibodies will
antibodies
now
will now
come for
come for
your
your
kidney,
kidney,
and they
and
will
they will
destroy
destroy
this
this
cells,
cells,
or
for
they
they
um, recognize your
recognize
cells
your cells
as
as
foreign.
foreign.
Kaya
Kaya
autoantibodies
autoantibodies
or
or
immune
immune
disorder.
disorder.
Immune autoimmune.
Autoimmune. Okay.
Next, you have
Next,
your
you have your
haptoglobin.
haptoglobin.
It is
It is
another major
another major
protein
protein
migrating
migrating
in the
in the
alpha
alpha
polytron.
polytron.
Okay. Combines with the
Combines with the
hemoglobin
hemoglobin
released by
released by
lysosomal
light
RBCs
RBCs
in order
in
to
order to
preserve
preserve
body
body
iron and
iron and
protein
protein
store.
store.
Okay, so
Okay, so
haptoglobin, if
haptoglobin,
ever
if
that you
ever
have
that you have
lysis in your
lysis in your
blood,
blood,
or
or
a
a
normal cell
normal
death
cell
of your
death of your
RBC, it
RBC,
will
it will
be
be
engulfed
engulfed
and
and
have a
have a
relation with
relation
your
with your
haptoglobin,
haptoglobin,
which
which
will
will
help in
help in
storing your
storing your
iron
iron
and
and
proteins
proteins
to be
to be
used
used
in
in
another
another
set of
set of
your
your
body
body
function.
function.
Its
Its
half-life is
half-life
in
in
circulation is
circulation
about
is
4
about 4
days.
days.
It
It
rises in
rises in
response to
response to
stress,
stress,
infection,
infection,
acute
acute
inflammation,
inflammation,
or
or
tissue
tissue
necrosis.
necrosis.
Okay?
Okay?
Bakit tissue
Bakit tissue
necrosis?
necrosis?
Bakit
Bakit
inflammation?
inflammation?
Bakit
Bakit
infection?
infection?
Bakit
And bakit
stress?
stress?
Because
Because
they
they
increases the
increases
cell
the cell
death of
death
your
of your
RBC.
RBC.
That's
That's
why
why
after
after
that you
that
will
you
also
will also
notice
notice
the
a
increase in
increase
your
in your
haptoglobin.
haptoglobin.
Next is
Next
your
is your
transferrin.
transferrin.
It is a
It is a
major
major
beta
beta
globin.
globin.
It
It
transports
transports
ferric
ferric
iron
iron
from the
from the
iron
iron
store of
store of
intracellular or
intracellular or
mucosal
mucosal
ferritin to the
ferritin to
bone
the bone
marrow.
marrow.
So for
So
this
for this
one, this
one, this
transferrin,
transferrin,
it
it
helps in
helps in
regulating
regulating
your
your
iron
iron
storage
storage
to be
to be
used in
used
the
in the
production of your
production of your
RBCs.
RBCs.
Okay, it's
Okay, it's
celebrated in
celebrated
your
in your
pregnant
pregnant
woman.
woman.
That's
That's
why
why
you
you
need
need
also
also
large
large
amount
amount
of
of
iron
iron
supplements if
supplements
ever
if
that
ever
the
that the
patient is
patient is
pregnant.
pregnant.
Madalas sila
Madalas sila
magkaroon ng
magkaroon
iron
ng iron
deficiency
deficiency
anemia
anemia
because
because
they have
they have
increased
increased
transferrin. No?
transferrin.
Inuubos yung
Inuubos yung
transferrin yung
transferrin yung
iron
iron
stores sa
stores sa
katawan.
katawan.
Next is
Next is
fibrinogen.
fibrinogen.
It is the
It is
most
the most
abundant
abundant
coagulation
coagulation
factor.
factor.
This is a protein.
Protein.
That's a
At sinabi mo
coagulation
coagulation
factor. This
factor,
is
this is
made with
with
your
your
coagulation
coagulation
cascade.
cascade.
It
It
forms
forms
a
a
fibrillary
fibrillary
clot.
clot.
Okay? It
Okay?
is
It is
elevated when
elevated
other
when other
acute phase
acute phase
reactants or
reactants or
APRs
APRs
in
in
pregnancy
pregnancy
and the
and the
use of
use of
contraceptive
contraceptive
medications.
medications.
Next,
Next,
we have
we
your
have your
minor
minor
component of
component of
your
your protein.
proteins. So you
So
have
you have
first your
first your
ceruloplasmin.
ceruloplasmin.
It is
It
a
is a
copper binding
copper binding
protein.
protein.
So when you're
So when
asked
you're asked
what is
what
the
is the
metal binding
metal
protein,
binding
you have
protein, you
your
have your
ceruloplasmin.
ceruloplasmin.
It is
It is
elevated in
elevated
individuals
in
under
individuals
oral
under oral
contraceptive therapy
contraceptive
and
therapy
pregnancy.
and pregnancy.
It is responsible
It
in
is
oxidizing
responsible in
iron
oxidizing
from
iron
ferrous to
from
ferric.
ferrous to ferric.
Disordered of proper
Disorder of copper
metabolism
metabolism
results to
results
Wilson's
to
disease due
Wilson's
to
disease due to
ceruloplasmin deficiency.
ceruloplasmin deficiency.
Bakit? Kasi
Bakit?
nga,
Kasi nga,
it is a
it is a
binding protein.
binding protein.
That's why kung wala
That's
kang
why kung wala kang
ceruloplasmin,
ceruloplasmin,
you will now
you
have
will now have
decreased
decreased
proper
copper
metabolism.
metabolism.
Kaya kakaroon ka ng
Kaya
Wilson's
kakaroon ka ng
disease.
Wilson's disease.
Next is your
Next is your
hemopexin.
hemopexin.
Your
Your
hemopexin binds
hemopexin
steam
binds steam
released by
released by
degradation of
degradation of
hemoglobin.
hemoglobin.
When your
When
RBC
your
are
RBC
lyzed
are
or
lyzed
at a
or
normal
at a
cell death,
normal cell
it
death,
will
it
have
will
now
have now
released the
released
hemoglobin
hemoglobin
inside it.
inside it.
Okay? Your
Okay?
hemoglobin
Your
will not
hemoglobin will not
disintegrate.
disintegrate.
Next, your
Next, your
hemopexin
hemopexin
and your
and your
haptoglobin will
haptoglobin
go into
will go
that
into that
and get
and
those
get those
molecules needed
molecules
for
needed
another
for
cycle
another
of your
cycle of
cell
your cell
functions. Like your
functions. Like your
hemopexin, you
hemopexin,
have
you
your
have your
heme
heme
as its
as its
transport.
transport.
It is a
It is
most
the most
profound
profound
decrease in
decrease in
intravascular
intravascular
hemolysis.
hemolysis.
Alpha 1
Alpha 1
acid
acid
glycoprotein,
glycoprotein
it's also
is
known as
also known
your
as your
orosome.
orosome.
It is
It is
elevated during
elevated during
pregnancy.
pregnancy.
It binds
It
to
binds to
progesterone and
progesterone
could
and
be
could be
important in
important
its
in its
transport or
transport or
metabolism.
metabolism.
Next, you have the
Next, you have the
C-reactive protein.
C-reactive protein.
It is present in the
Present in
serum
the
of
serum
patient
of
with
patient with
disorder other
disorder
than
other than
pneumococcal
pneumococcal
infection
infection
and
and
tissue
tissue
necrosis.
necrosis.
It serves
It
as
serves as
general
general
scavenger
scavenger
molecule.
molecule.
Okay?
Okay?
It,
It,
it has
it
major
has major
significance
significance
as
as
highly
highly
sensitive active
sensitive
phase
active phase
reactant or
reactant or
CRP.
CRP.
CRP
CRP
can be
can
used
be
in
used
the
in the
indication of your
indication of your
inflammation.
inflammation.
Okay,
Okay,
CRP
CRP
levels
levels
are
are
sometimes
sometimes
used as a
used as
rapid
a rapid
test for
test for
presumptive
presumptive
diagnosis of
diagnosis of
bacterial
bacterial
infection,
infection
okay, versus
versus
your viral
your viral
infection. So
infection.
in your
Your
bacterial
bacterial
infection,
infection,
your
your
CRP
CRP
is
is
high,
high.
while in
While in
viral
viral
infection, your
infection, your
CRP is
CRP is
low.
low.
It is
It
used
is
to
used to
monitor
monitor
progression or
progression or
reinfection of
infection
your
of your
autoimmune
autoimmune
diseases.
diseases.
Because
Because
this can
this can
be used nga, sabi
yeah,
nga
sabi
natin,
nga natin,
to
to
monitor
monitor
or
or
indicates
indicate
inflammation.
inflammation.
That's
That's
why
why
for, monitoring
monitoring
the
the
progression of your
progression of your
autoimmune
autoimmune
disease
disease
can be
can be
helpful
helpful
using your
using your
CRP.
CRP.
Persons with high
Persons with
CRP,
high CRP,
high normal
high normal
CRP
CRP
concentration are
concentration
great
are
risk
great
for
risk for
stroke
stroke
or
or
myocardial
myocardial
infarction
infarction
than those with low normal
normal
values.
value.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Yan.
Yan.
Kasi nga
Kasi nga
CRP
CRP
is a
is
acute
acute
phase reaction.
phase reaction.
Alpha-1
Alpha 1 alpha
alpha-fetoprotein,
fetoprotein,
another type
another
of
type of
minor
minor
protein, which
protein,
is increased in
increased in
amniotic
amniotic
fluid
fluid,
and
and
serum in
serum
neural
in neural
tubule,
tube,
like your
like your
spina
spina
bifida.
bifida.
So this is
So this
a
is a
um,
um,
neonatal
neonatal
disease,
disease,
spina
spina
bifida.
bifida.
Decreased level
Decreased
is
level is
associated with
associated
your
with your
Down
Down
syndrome.
syndrome.
Okay, so
Okay,
if
so
ever
if ever
that
that
you are
you are
pregnant and you
pregnant and you
tested
tested
below the
below
normal
the
values
normal
of
values of alpha
alpha-fetoprotein,
fetoprotein,
your child
your
is
child is
expected to
expected
be
to
or
be or
suspected to
suspected
be
to be
a
a
autistic or
autistic
with
or
Down
with Down
syndrome. Or
or
if it's
if
increased
it's
naman,
increased naman,
it will
it
be
will be
spina
spina
bifida. Your
bifida.
spina
Spina
bifida is
bifida is
basically
um,
you have
you
the
have
spinal
spinal
column
column
here.
here.
For
For
example,
example,
this
this
is
is
the
the
spinal
spinal
column.
column.
It will
It will
have
have
this is
the
the coccygeal
coccygeal
area,
area,
sacrum
sacrum
coccygeal area.
coccygeal area.
It will
It
have
will
also
have
an
an
opening
opening
around here.
around.
Then
Then
it will
it
leak
will
out
leak out
your
your
spinal
spinal
cord,
cord,
forming a
forming a
pulp
pulp
on your
on your
sacrococcygeal area.
sacrococcygeal area. Next
Next is your
is your
troponin.
troponin.
Troponin
Troponin
or
or
cardiac
cardiac
troponin is
troponin has
established
established
firmly as a
firmly
gold
as a gold
standard in
standard in
diagnosing
diagnosing
myocardial
myocardial
damage. So
damage. So
this
this
troponin
troponin
has
has
variants.
variants.
Now you
Now
have
you have
troponin,
troponin,
troponin
troponin
I,
I,
and troponin C.
troponin C.
So for your
So for your
troponin
troponin
I,
I,
this is an
this is an
immediate
immediate
now
now
indicator
indicator
of
of
myocardial
myocardial
infarction.
infarction.
Okay?
Okay?
While your
While your
troponin C
troponin
can
can
be used
be
in
used in
monitoring
monitoring
the
the
progression
progression
of
of
your
your
M
M
or
or
even
even
the
the
management
management
of your
of your
MI.
MI.
Okay?
Okay?
So ano yung
So ano yung
commonly
commonly
natin
natin
na-encounter in the
na-encounter in the
laboratory? You will
laboratory? You
have
will
your
have your
troponin I.
troponin I.
So if
So
ever
if
the
ever the
physician
physician
requested for
requested for
troponin I,
troponin I,
it is
it is
suspected to
suspected to
have
have
having an
having an
myocardial
myocardial
infarction
infarction
or
or
heart attack.
heart attack.
Okay?
Okay?
So that
That
your
your
BPN or your
BPN or
brain
your brain
natriuretic
natriuretic
peptide
peptide
and
and
N-terminal brain
N-terminal brain
natriuretic
natriuretic
peptide
peptide
are
are
also
also
marker for
marker
your
for your
heart
heart
disease,
disease,
especially your
especially your
congestive
congestive
heart
heart
failure.
failure.
So what is
So
your
what is your
congestive heart failure? These are the
congestive heart failure? They are
congestions of
are the
your blood vessels within
congestions
the
of your
heart.
blood vessels within the heart.
Okay?
Okay?
Neurohormones that
Neurohormones
affect the
that affect
bodily
the bodily
fluids,
fluids,
homeostasis.
homeostasis.
Okay?
Okay?
The
The
balance
balance
in the
and
salt
the
and
salt
water
and water
content of your
content of
body.
your body.
All
And
throughout
all throughout
natriuresis.
natriuresis.
What is
What is
natriuresis? This
natriuresis?
is
This is
your
your
sodium,
sodium.
okay,
Okay?
sodium
Sodium
or
or
sodium
sodium
gradient,
gradient.
while your
While your
diuresis is
diuresis
your
is your
water.
water.
And blood
And blood
pressure all
pressure all
throughout
throughout
decreased
decreased
angiotensin
angiotensin
2
2
norepinephrine
norepinephrine
synthesis. Okay,
okay,
if ever
ever
there's
there's
a decrease
decrease
or
or
cases of
cases of
congestive heart
congestive heart
failure or
failure
even
or even
hypertension,
hypertension,
your
your
BPN is
BPN is
increased. Both
both
major
major
component
components
in the
in the
pathology of
pathology
your
of your
congestive heart
congestive heart
failure.
failure.
So they
So
are
they
the
are the
marker for
marker
your
for your
congestive heart
congestive heart
failure.
failure.
Next is your
Next is your
fibronectin.
fibronectin.
You
You
have
have
fetal
fetal
fibronectin
fibrinogen
is a
is a
glycoprotein
glycoprotein
used to
used
help
to
predict
help predict
the
the
short-term
short-term
risk of
risk of
premature
premature
delivery.
delivery.
Premature
Premature
delivery
delivery
prediction.
prediction.
Okay? So
Okay,
if
so
they are
if we are
testing
testing
fibronectin, if
fibrinogen,
ever
if
that the
ever that the
patient
patient
will have
will
a
have a
short-term
short-term
um,
um,
pregnancy
pregnancy
or
or
immediately
immediately
delivery of the
delivery of
baby.
the baby.
Okay?
Okay?
Adiponectin
Adiponectin
is
is
another
another
component,
component,
is
is
another
another
protein
protein,
which
which
is a
is a
247
247
amino
amino
acid
acid
fat
fat
hormones
hormone
composed of
composed of
N-terminal
N-terminal
collagen
collagen
like
like
domain
domain
and
and
C-terminal
C-terminal
globular
globular
domain
domain
produced by
produced
your
by your
adipocytes. So
adipocytes. So
mainly this
mainly this
adiponectin
adiponectin
is
is
combined with
combined with
your
your
adipocytes or
adipocytes or
your
your
fat
fat
cells.
cells.
Lower
Lower
levels of
levels of
adiponectin
adiponectin
correlates with
correlates with
increased risk
increased
of
risk of
heart
heart
disease,
disease,
type 2
type 2
diabetes,
diabetes,
and
and
metabolic
metabolic
syndrome
syndrome
and
and
obesity.
obesity.
Beta
Beta
trace
trace
protein,
protein,
you do
you do
have your
have your
prostaglandin
prostaglandin
synthase.
synthase.
Okay?
Okay?
Accurate
Accurate
marker for
marker
your
for your
CSF
CSF
linkage.
linkage.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Isipin
Isipin
mo,
mo,
this
this
B
B
is
is
for
for
brain.
brain.
That's
That's
why
why
it
it
will
will
be
be
correlating
correlating
your
your
CSF
CSF
linkage.
linkage.
Potential
Potential
marker in
marker in
detecting
detecting
impaired
impaired
renal
renal
function,
function,
it is
increase
proteins.
proteins.
Bakit?
Bakit?
Because your
Because your
proteins
proteins
are big
are big
molecules.
molecules.
No?
No?
If
If
ever
ever
presence of
presence of
this
this
metatrace
metatrace
proteins are
proteins are
present in your
present in your
urine,
urine,
it can
it can
be a
be a
sign of
sign of
your
your
renal
renal
damage.
damage.
Diagnosis of
Diagnosis of
perilymphatic
perilymphatic
fluid
fluid
crystals.
crystals.
So,
So,
this uh,
uh,
have the
have the
significance of the
significance of the
trace
trace
proteins.
proteins.
Next is your
Next is your
cystatin,
cystatin,
new
new
marker for
marker
early
for early
assessment of
assessment of
changes
changes
to the
to the
glomerular
glomerular
filtration
filtration
rate.
rate.
We are
Now we are
using
using
cystatin C
cystatin C
in the old
in the old
ways
ways
and new
and new
ways
ways
in
in
identifying
identifying
your
your
GFP. Creatinine,
creatinine.
please. Myoglobin,
Myoglobin,
this is a
this is
type
a
of
type of
protein
protein
present
present
in
in
your
your
skeletal and
skeletal and
cardiac
cardiac
muscle.
muscle.
Okay?
Okay?
This is a
This
heme
is a heme
protein
protein
found in your
found in your
striated
striated
muscle. And
muscle.
what are
And what
those
are those
striated
striated
muscles?
muscles?
Your
Your
skeletal and your
skeletal and your
cardiac.
cardiac.
Account for
Account for
approximately
approximately
80% of
80% of
total
total
muscle
muscle
protein.
protein.
That's why if
That's why if
ever that
ever that
there is
there
a
is a
myoglobinemia
myoglobinemia
or
or
myoglobinuria,
myoglobinuria,
it is
it's
correlated that
correlated
you
that
are
you are
having
having
muscle
muscle
wastage.
wastage.
Okay?
Okay?
For
For
your
your
myoglobin
myoglobinuria
component.
component.
Next is your amyloid. So for your amyloid, protein polysaccharides complex produced and deposited in the tissue during some chronic infections, malignancies, and rheumatologic disorders. No? Homogeneous substances staining readily with your Congo red. So your amyloid can be stained by your Congo red. It correlates also with your tumors or cancers. Okay, this can be also used as a cancer marker, but not specific with any answer, with any cancer disease. Okay, next we have your methods of determination of your proteins. So we do have different types of methods in determining your proteins. First is your total protein determination. So for your total protein determination, we do have five different methods that we are using. So first is your Kejal method. No, the principle of this method is digestion of protein and measuring the nitrogenous content for your protein nga has a nitrogen component. Okay, reference method, no? When you say reference method, this is the gold standard. Gold standard for what? For that test. Okay, for your total protein. Assumes the average nitrogen content of 16%. Okay. Next is your refractometry method. Measurement of refractive index due to solutes in the serum. So, how will you do this? No, it uses refractometer. No, it will now check for the solutes, no, your com- components of your serum, components of your serum like your Igs or immunoglobulins and other proteins present in the serum. Okay? Rapid and simple. Assume non-protein solids are present in the same concentration as the calibrating serum. Okay? So with the procedure, no, you will drop the serum in a refractometer. Then you will see what is the refractive index of that. Okay, as for you will use now your blank, no, for your computation for the total protein, because also your serum also contains other debris like such as your carbohydrates and other components that can affect the refractive index. Next is your violet method. Okay. Formation of violet colored chelates now between copper ions and peptide bonds. Okay. So bakit naman natin to ginagamit for your total protein determination? Because of the peptide bonds. Okay? So your proteins nga or amino acids are binded together with your peptide bonds to form your several proteins. Now, this is a routine method. When you say routine, commonly used, okay, requires at least two peptide bonds and an alkaline medium. Bakit two peptide bonds? Kasi nga, peptide bonds nga yung dinidetect in this test, your biuret. Okay? Next is your dye binding. Protein binds to a dye and causes a spectral shift in the absorbance of maximum dye. No? This is used for your research purposes. Okay. Next protein determination, you have your albumin determination. Okay. Methods are precipitation. No? Globulins are precipitated in high salt concentration. Albumin in supernatant is quantitated by your bioref reaction or your bioref method. Kasi nga, your bioref method can detect protein. This is a labor-intensive because of the process. No? You need to precipitate, you need to separate, you need to, again, do another testing for your albumin, which is the bioref test. Okay? Next is your dye binding. So, for your dye binding, now, methyl orange is specific for your albumin. Okay, it causes shift in absorption maximum. It is non-specific for your albumin. So not all, no, in the serum, not all of that, no, nanastemia is albumin, but most of it is albumin. Okay, next is your HABA or 2,4 prime. No, hydroxy oxybenzene benzoic acid. Okay, albumin binds to the dye, causes shift in absorption maximum. Okay, many interferences such as your salicylate and bilirubin. Okay, this can also bind with your HABA. That's why they are interference. Bromcresol green. Okay, albumin binds to the dye, causes shift in the absorption maximum, same lang in principle, kasi nga they are dyes. No, sensitive, overestimates low albumin level, and most commonly used dye. Bakit po most commonly used dye? This is most commonly available. And this is also a sensitive one. Next is your bromcresol purple. Same principle with your other dye binding. Now they are specific, sensitive, and precise. That's why this is the most desired, no, dye in using in identifying your albumin because it is specific, it is sensitive, and it is precise. Electrophoresis, no, a protein separated based on the electric charges. No? This is also accurate. Okay, it gives you an overview of what other, no, proteins are present in that specimen because it will have a cathode and an anode wherein charges, no, will travel from your cathode to your anode. Then your protein will have markers like that or dyes. Then you will identify them such as your pre-albumin because this is the fastest, then this is your albumin, and so on and so forth. Okay? Techniques in protein separation. Electrophoresis may divide into no, moving boundary from frontal electrophoresis. No, at pH of 7.6, no, slightly neutral. For serum proteins fraction, your albumin, alpha, beta, and gamma are identified and quantified optically by change in refractive index at the boundary of among those bands. So, sa boundary ng band na makikita. So, if ever na makakita kayo ng result ng electrophoresis, so for example, ganyan, may mga bands yan na nandyan. This is the positive, this is the negative. Okay? So, sabi nila, faint lang kasi daw talaga yung band ng pre-albumin, tapos yung albumin susunod, and so on and so forth. Then, the medium or the gel incorporated with this, the gel has a pH of 7.6. Bakit 7.6? This is a neutral pH. Okay, optimum for identification of your proteins because your proteins is dependent nga in your pH on their electric charge. That's why it should be administered in a slightly neutral gel or medium. Okay? Separation is achieved in a homogeneous solution without solid support medium, thus convective forces preventive resolution into distinctive zone. Okay. Next is your zonal electrophoresis. It is a process wherein filter paper is used as an anti-convection support medium, thus permitting separation of the protein fraction into discrete bonds or zone. So, same lang sila ng principle because they use electrophoresis. They only differs in the medium being used. As for your zonal, it uses filter paper. Unlike your previous, no, electrophoresis, it has gel. Okay. On solid support medium like filter paper, other support medium no, like cellulose, acetate, membrane, agarose, and at pH of 8.7, slightly alkali. The alpha fraction splits into group of proteins such as your alpha 1 and alpha 2. Okay? Two groups lang. While yung kaninang nauna, you have no, four groups. Your albumin, alpha, beta, and gamma. Okay, among fit solid, no, support media, cellulose acetate and agarose have predominated in the laboratory due to ease of use, low cost, and commercial availability. So those medias that are available no, in gel part can be in your cellulose acetate and your agarose gel. Okay. Next, standardized use in electrophoresis. For serum electrophoresis, you can use Comasi Brilliant Blue, Pontius S, and Amido Black. For lipoprotein, you will have your Oil Red O and Sudan Black. For glycoproteins, you have pass or periodic acid shift. No? So those are your dyes. Okay. Next is you have the electrophoretic pattern. So what is the electrophoretic pattern? So this is the pattern, no, produced by your electrophoresis. So this is the positive, this is the negative side of your electrophoresis. So from your anode to cathode, okay? So this one, the highest concentration here is your albumin, followed by, and so on and so forth. Okay? Followed by your albumin, alpha, beta, gamma, and your, what's the previous one? Alpha, beta, gamma. Yeah. Okay? So you have monoclonal electrophoretic patterns that can be associated with diseases. No, this can be used in testing your diseases or identification of diseases. For example, this one, highest in the last band, no, predicts a monoclonal increase. When you say monoclonal increase, these are increase in antibodies. No, increase in antibodies because this is a region for your antibody. Okay, next you have antitrypsin alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency. No, decrease in this area of your alpha proteins. Okay, next is nephrotic syndrome, increase in your beta and gamma. Okay, ano yung increase nating protein for your nephrotic syndrome? You have your, no, ano ba yung increase natin sa nephrotic syndrome? Ano, possible mag-increase nitong beta, gamma, area, and alpha, slide, no? And spike, no? Peak spike on your albumin is your macroglobulins. Macroglobulins. Okay? Next is your for your inflammation. No? Tatlo ulit yung peak on your alpha, beta, and gamma region. Then the cirrhosis, no? Para siyang magkakaroon ng wave at the end, no? But this is not for like your monoclonal because isa lang is spike nun. Okay? Because of this, proteins produced in your liver. By your liver. Okay? Okay, other methods we uses precipitation. Okay, for precipitation, globulins are precipitated using sodium sulfate, sodium sulfite, ammonium sulfate, or methanol, leaving albumin in the solution. Okay, values for albumin and globulin can be derived by measuring total protein in the original serum and protein in either of the precipitate and supernatant. Okay? Then, precipitation method are not as accurate as zonal electrophoresis because some alpha globulins may fail to precipitate and thus lead to a overestimate of albumin fraction. Bakit? Your alpha globulins are too small. They can be, no, too small. They can be, no, maipit. They can be in between those macroglobulins causing larger precipitate. Okay? Next is column separation. It uses gel filtration. The order of protein elution is by molecular weight or size from largest first to smallest last. Kasi nga, filtration. That's why it uses gel filtration na has a specific pores. Okay? It is necessary to apply the same sample in the small uniform volume because all protein species continuously move through the gel filtration column at all the same time but with different rates. Ion exchange chromatography. It is based on the charge of the protein which binds to head of charge support medium. So for this one, no, it uses charge of the protein. So paano 'yon? No, it uses specific pH of the medium to move the proteins into levels to identify different proteins in that sample. Next is hydrophobic chromatography. When you say chromatography ulit, ano ulit ito? May color involved. Samples are applied in high salt and eluted with low salt. Okay? Say hydrophobic. So it involves salt and water. The support medium interacts with proteins according to hydrophobic nature. It is good complementary technique to follow exchange chromatography in which the sample was eluted with high salt. So if ever that you are identifying proteins using your ion exchange, you can follow up or parallel test it with your hydrophobic test because of the ease of procedure. Okay? Affinity chromatography, it is based on specific binding between protein and interest of another protein that is been covalently linked to the solid support medium in a column. So affinity, anong ginagamit natin dito? No, meron tayong parang attractant, no, to identify the protein necessarily and specifically. Next is capillary electrophoresis. It is a separation method based on flow through a capillary tube that can be tailored to resolution of different molecules based on size, hydrophobicity, and stereospecificity. So kanina meron tayong filtration, gel filtration, used in identification of your proteins, no, based on size. Next is use um, hydrophobic chromatography, which uses hydrophobicity in testing. Okay, those are incorporated with your capillary electrophoresis. Protein detection and quantification. No? And again, you have Kegel technique, which is the reference method for protein determination. This technique consists of an acid digestion to release ammonium ions from nitrogen-containing compounds. So your nitrogen-containing compounds or your proteins, okay, is digested. Isira, pinag-iba-hiwalay. Then your nitrogen is now tested, no, and correlated with your protein content. Okay? The ammonia can be quantified by conversion of ammonia gas and titration as based on your Nielsen ratio. Okay? Total serum protein is obtained by multiplying the value of a total protein by 6.25. Again, you have your refractive index. It is an accurate measure of serum protein concentration as dissolved solute for levels above 2.5 grams per deciliter. It cannot be used for urine protein measurement because of excess amounts of solute in relation to other proteins. No? Kaya nga, we have limitation in using refractive index because of the interference caused by other solutes found in your specimens. Kaya hindi din siya ginagamit sa urine because other elemental, no, proteins and non-protein components affect your urine refractive index. Next is your specific gravity. This technique is simple and has been widely used as a screening test for hemoglobin concentration in whole blood. Okay, it is determined by pipetting drops of your serum, or blow into your graded series of copper sulfate solution. This protein concentration of a sample is estimated from your specific gravity of the copper sulfate solution in which the drop remains stationary. As for this one, this is only a qualitative test, no, for your hemoglobin. Okay, for your hemoglobin qualitative testing, ang mare-result mo lang doon is enough or not enough or normal or low yung values. Normal and low lang ang meron. Okay, if it sinks, if your blood sinks, it is normal. It has a normal protein content as to your hemoglobin. If it's low, your blood flows because it doesn't have enough hemoglobin to be in the bottom of your copper sulfate solution. Okay? Mas mabigat pa rin yung copper sulfate. Next is your turbidimetric method. Your turbidimetric method, they are used to measure protein concentration in your CSF or urine. Okay? Protein forms precipitate in the addition of your trichloroacetic acid, sulfosalicylic acid, or other acid reagent. Turbidity produced can be measured by optical density. They are not specific to protein because other acid-insoluble substance such as your nucleic acid can also precipitate. Okay? This is not widely used na kasi nga it can have interference such as your nucleic acid. Ano ba yung mga nucleic acid natin? You have the nucleic acids, no, that can also precipitate. Okay? So in this method, you will use like a machine with a light source and emitter in which it will measure the light trap in the solution, okay, how turbid it is, okay, then it will measure the light that passed through. It will the detector will now receive the light pass through, in which a decreased level of the light pass through correlates with the content of your protein in the sample, such as your CSF and urine. Okay, you do have this results. Okay, negative for clear sample, no turbidity is equivalent to your um, less than 20 milligram per deciliter. Trace or very faint precipitate 200 to 200, 20 to 200 milligram per deciliter. Plus 1 plus small degree of turbidity 100 to 1000 milligram per deciliter. 2 plus moderate turbidity 1000 to 1 to 2500 milligram per deciliter. Number 3 plus, heavy turbidity 2500 to 4500 milligram per deciliter. 4 plus, heavily flocculated or heavy flocculation or clumping is present greater than 5000 milligram per deciliter. Okay, that is the result for your turbidimetry correlation. Okay. Next, you have colorimetric technique. Okay, as for your colorimetric technique, you have the Biuret method. Okay. It is highly specific for proteins and peptides. It is dependent on your presence of two or more peptide bonds which forms a purple complex with copper salt in alkaline solution. Ammonium ions, hemoglobins, and bilirubin can cause interference. Bakit? Okay? It is also known to be no, good binder in your bioref method or in your bioref reagent, such as your copper sulfate. Okay, reagents: copper sulfate, tartrate salt, potassium iodide. Okay, next, Pauline Chacal, Pauline Chateau ata to. Pauline, yeah. Pauline Chacal 2, the agent, involves oxidation of phenolic compounds such as your tyrosine, tryptophan, and histidine to give a deep blue color. Ano yung mga tinetest nito mga to? Your tyrosine, tryptophan, and histidine, which are your amino acids. Coma si brilliant blue dye. It is a sensitive for down to down to 1 picogram of your protein. So, sobrang liit, picogram of your protein. It is free of interferences from very wide range of substances. So, it's medyo specific and sensitive siya for your proteins. Next is ninhydrin test. This produce a violet color by reacting with your primary amine. So, ano ang tinetest nito? The amine content of your um, proteins, which is your NH group. Clinical significance parameter, total protein. Reference range is 6.5 to 8.5 grams per deciliter. It is increased, no? Your total protein is increased in your dehydration, severe exercise, infection, and cancer. Okay? Decreased values naman siya in your GI cancer, liver diseases, malnutrition, low thiamine, and glomerulonephritis. Ang pinag-uusapan natin ditong total protein is found in your serum. Kasi baka sabihin nyo, glomerulonephritis, increase ang protein, but protein in the urine, not in the serum. Okay? So, sa serum, decrease siya. Sa urine, increase ang protein. Okay? Clinical significance, no? Albumin reference range, 3.5 to 5.0 gram per deciliter. Increased values, dehydration, sunstroke, exercise, multiple sclerosis, and hypothyroidism. Decreased values in pregnancy, malnutrition, malabsorption, liver disease, kidney disease, and burns. Next, we do have rare inherited disorder of amino acid metabolism or amino acidopathies. Your phenylketonuria, your autosomal recessive trait, and occurs approximately 1 out of 15,000 births. So, medyo rare. Absence of phenylalanine for monooxygenase, which catalyzes the conversion of your phenylalanine to tyrosine. Okay? Kaya natin sinabing amino acid dopathies, because of the deficiency in your amino acid, like your phenylalanine, which convert your um, catalase, which convert your phenylalanine to tyrosine. Effects on your effects in a human being: metal retardation, urine has musty odor. Musty odor. Okay? Phenylketonuria. Okay, bakit nagkakaroon ng mental retardation? Accumulation of your phenylalanine. Okay, accumulation of phenylalanine in the brain. Okay, screening procedure, Gutre bacterial inhibition assay. Okay, reference method, HPLC, or your high performance liquid chromatography. Urine testing, no, uses ferric chloride, okay, which reacts with phenyl pyruvic acid to produce green color. Next, tyrosinemia and related disorder, characterized by excretion of tyrosine and tyrosine catabolites in the urine. Defect in fumary acetoacetase. Okay? These abnormalities are mainly, no, absence or deficiency or defects on your enzymes, which converts your amino acids. Okay? Effect of tyrosine level increase in the blood and the urine because wala nga nagko-convert ng tyrosine or wala nagde-degrade ng tyrosine. Okay? Laboratory test, ion exchange column chromatography. Next is your alkaptonuria, deficiency of homogeneisate, okay, oxidase in tyrosine catabolic pathway. Buildup of homogenesic acid. Effect, homogenesic acid accumulates in connective tissue such as your muscles, your tendons, no, causing general pigmentation and arthritis-like degradation. Also found in your bones. No? Homogenesic acid causes darkness upon your exposure to air, especially in your urine. Okay? Laboratory test, blue color when ferric chloride is added into your urine. So, ano yung nasa tyrosinemia? Okay? Green color when being tested with ferric chloride. Pag blue, alkaptonuria. Maple syrup urine disease or MSUD, deficiency in branch chain keto acid decarboxylase, buildup of leucine, isoleucine, and valine in your blood. It affects, no, mental retardation, convulsion, acidosis, hypoglycemia, and even death. Okay? Burnt sugar odor or maple syrup odor. Sweet odor, maple syrup odor of the urine, breath, and skin. So lahat. Maamoy siya, matamis. Okay? Screening test, modified Utre test that detects elevated plasma leucine. Ano yung gumagamit pa ulit ng Utre? Your phenylketonuria. Next is isovaleric acidemia. Your isovaleric acidemia results from deficiency of enzyme isovaleric coenzyme A dehydrogenase in a degradation pathway of your leucine. So, ano namang tumataas sa kanya? It is your leucine. Okay? Sweaty feet odor of your urine. Okay? Laboratory test, chromatography, and mass spectrometry. Homocystinuria, impaired activity of enzyme cysteamine, no, beta synthase, results in elevated plasma and urine levels of precursors of homocysteine and methionine. Okay? Effects, late childhood, no, thrombosis, osteoporosis, dislocated lenses. In neonatal screening test, Utre test using L-methionine, sulfoxamine. Confirmatory test is your high performance liquid chromatography which has a value of greater than 2 milligrams per deciliter. Next is your arginosuccinic aciduria and citrullinemia. Your arginosuccinic aciduria results from deficiency in arginosuccinic acid or ASA, lyase, and a decrease in activity of ASA synthase causing citrullinemia. Symptoms of this is vomiting, high ammonia levels, and mental retardation. So, bakit nagkakaroon ng mental retardation and vomiting? Because of your increased ammonia level. So, your ammonia is a waste product. That's why No, accumulation of this can cause mental retardation and even vomiting. Marker, citrulline, laboratory test, mass spectrometry. Cystinuria, increased excretion of cystine due to defect in renal absorption. So, saan naman ang problema nito? Sa renal calculi. Renal calculi. Okay, laboratory test. Urine test, no? Cyanide nitroprusside, positive color is red purple. Okay, so that's the last slide for our protein. I hope you understand and good luck. Thank you.